Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some concealers. I have the new Jeffree Star concealers in 2 shades, and I also have the Tom Ford concealer in 2 shades as well because I have a little sample here. So I got the Jeffree Star concealers in the shades C8 and C14. I believe C8 was light medium with olive undertones, and then C14 was, I believe, medium with yellow undertones. It's the most yellow shade of the bunch. I will just put both of the Jeffree Star concealers on my face. I already know that I prefer my Tom Ford over the Jeffree Star. So the Jeffree Star is supposed to be a full coverage concealer with a semi-matte finish. I'm not sure what the Tom Ford is supposed to be, but it's medium coverage with a skin-like finish. This looks like skin. If you have dry skin or textured under eyes, I recommend to try this out. This formula stays on the skin the entire day, barely creases of any of the concealers I've ever used, and most concealers crease, like all of them crease on me. And if you liked that texture of the Cover FX Power Play concealer, but like couldn't get that one to work completely for you, try this one because I loved that consistency, but I just couldn't make it work. The coverage was just lacking always, and then it emphasized some dry skin underneath my eyes. This does not, and I've worn it all week and I instantly knew I liked it. This one, on the other hand, the Jeffree Star concealers, they are very pigmented. They will give you full coverage, I feel, in one go, and you can always build it up. I want to say that when it dries down, it looks dry, and not on the face anyway. But if you were comparing these two concealers, this one's got more moisture. I've never been a fan of the Tarte Shape Tape concealers. I've never purchased one because they were extremely drying. They looked very like just so dry. They looked kind of like crusty almost. This reminds me of that a little bit. However, there is more moisture in it and it works for my under eyes. This will not make my under eyes dry. So if you are into that kind of that texture but just needed a tiny bit more moisture, this is a great option. This one, I'll put it on for you, but it lasts for a while. I didn't wear it all day yet, but today I will. And the Tom Ford has like that kind of, I wouldn't say sticky or tacky texture, but it is somewhat like emollient. This is dry, smooth, and like, it's thicker here. And this is C8. This one is so light on me. I also want to say that the shade range, you know, I was looking at them and I was like, well, why are people complaining? Because look at all these descriptions. He's got a ton of shades. But to be honest, the descriptions kind of suck. This is supposed to be a light medium with olive undertones, and I'm not very dark. But this concealer is not a light medium. I would say it's at least a light, or at the most a light. Fair almost. But had these been labeled better, I think I probably would have got maybe shade 13. But it doesn't look terrible in this lighting. And then this one is C14, the more yellow shade. This small dot does the entire eye. I look very bright, and what I like about these concealers is like these shades are so light. However, on the skin, because they offer so much coverage, you don't see my darkness, and it kind of like conceals everything to make it so like seamless. when I first like swatched them on my hand, I was like, these are not gonna work for me. But they kind of do. Let's see. Look in a mirror. Yeah. So they're okay. And they're a little drier than what I like my under eyes to be. I love this Tom Ford concealer because when it's underneath my eyes, it just like, it looks like skin. And there's kind of a radiance under there, but it doesn't look oily or anything like that. But this to me in person just looks a little too dry. If you love a full coverage, full glam, beat, whatever kind of face, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it if you wanted Shape Tape to work for you. You're gonna love it if you want full coverage. And you're gonna love it if you just wanted a little bit more moisture. Even if you still love Tarte Shape Tape, you're gonna love this. However, the amount of product that's in it is, I think it's like 3 milliliters for $22. 3.4 milliliters for $22. And I think Tarte Shape Tape was, I don't know, maybe 10 or something, 10 milliliters for about 20 something, I don't know. But if Tarte Shape Tape works for you, I'd say just stick with that one. But if you haven't found a concealer that makes you happy and you feel like this would, because the Tarte Shape Tape was just a little too dry, get it. I think you might like it. And I've been talking for a few minutes, and the creasing under my eyes is minimal. Almost non-existent. Barely. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and then I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll do some updates throughout the day. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock in the morning and I finished all of my makeup. I put a little bit of powder underneath my eyes. It's just a mixture of like Ben Nye banana powder and then like a shimmery powder. And for my bronzer, I put Makeup Forever 25i matte bronzer and mascara, and that's all I have on my skin. It looks a little bright. I want to say that although this, like, it looks good, I'm not complaining about that, but although my under eyes are not as like moisturized as I like them to be, or like as radiant looking as I like them to be, like how I love the Tom Ford, they are a little more matte. I don't like matte, but Jeffree Star's claims on his concealers are true. So everything that he claimed this concealer to be so far has proven to be true. And I like that about this concealer. And I love the freaking packaging. It looks so awesome. But yeah, so I'm not noticing any texture. It's smoothing over everything. It's not dry. Not sinking into any of the lines. It doesn't look cakey. It offered like really great coverage first go around. So this is a good concealer if you like a more matte texture under your eyes. But the amount in the product kind of sucks. So I've never tried the Jouer concealer, but I'm wondering if it's similar. But yeah, so I'll come back throughout the day and I will update you on how it's wearing. Hey, I'm back for my last update. Well, my only update, I think. It's 5 o'clock. I've had this makeup on for 9 hours, and this is what my concealer looks like. So this is the lighter shade C8, and this is C14. Let me grab a mirror. I'm not happy with the concealer. Like I said, I'm very picky. I don't like anything drying. And this is similar to the Armani in the sense that, the Armani Power Fabric Concealer, in the sense that like it provides a lot of coverage, the Jeffree Star concealer, as well as the Armani. And so if you can tell here, there's a lot of coverage right here. This eye kind of looks just like gray because the color is off. Right here, the concealer has like completely worn off my face, and I don't pick my face. I don't really touch it very often. Yeah. there's minimal creasing, but it does look a little dry. I don't want to say crusty, but it's a good, I feel like it's a good description when trying to describe a drier, thicker consistency, if that makes sense. It looks pretty good for what it is. If you have more oily skin, or if you originally loved Tarte Shape Tape and it got too drying or something, this might be a great option for you. But Tarte Shape Tape has never worked for me. Most concealers look drying on my skin, but the Tom Ford concealer is great. I feel like it is elastic, it is tacky. I loved the texture of the Cover FX Power Play concealer, but it just didn't provide enough coverage, and it also, like, a couple times it flaked off of my under eyes, and it just kept emphasizing the dryness, but I loved that texture. Tom Ford has that similar consistency, but stays on my under eyes all day, even if it provides like medium coverage. I don't need full coverage. I don't want full coverage. Medium is good, especially if I can get it to be a little radiant. My under eyes look matte, and I don't like that. I know many people do, so you might like this concealer. But you know, I'm very, 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 very picky. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope the descriptions were helpful and accurate. If you have any recommendations on products you want me to try, skincare or makeup, or anything else, let me know, and I will be back with more videos. Comment, like, and subscribe.